Selamünaleyküm. Euzubillahimineşşeytanirracim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Ve salatu vesselamu ala Resulina Muhammedin seyyidil evvelin ve ahirin. Meded ya Resul, meded ya Sadat ashabi Resul, meded ya Şeyh'in. Desturun ve aşallah fazla Seyyid Muhammed al-Medet. Tarikatun as-sahba vel hayru fil cem'iyye. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. يا أيها الناس إنا خلقناكم من ذكر وأنثى وجعلناكم شعوبا وقبائل لتعارفوا إن أكرمكم عند الله أتقاكم. Sadakallahu azim. Allah Azze ve Celle buyuruyor bu ayet-i kerimede, size bir adamdan ve kadından yarattık, çoğalttık.
Allah Almighty says in this noble verse, we created you from a man and a woman and we made you multiply.
Allah Azze ve Celle bu insanlar tanışsın diye Allah'ın hikmeti,
Allah Almighty, with His wisdom, He created us and He made us multiply in this world, and in order so that people may get to know each other.
Hiç akla gelmeyen yerde Allah takdiri olunca buluşturuyor onları.
And when it is Allah Almighty's decree, He Almighty Allah brings people together in a place, in a way that no one could have thought of, and in a way that would never come to mind.
Yuva sahibi yapıyor.
And Allah Almighty brings people together. You would have never thought of, and He makes them start a family, have a home.
Helalından evlilik oluyor, güzellik oluyor.
And Allah Almighty makes them to marry each other in lawful means, and there is beauty in being married, having a home and starting a family.
O mühim olan Allah'ın yolunda olmaları.
And what is important when marrying and starting a family is to follow the path of Allah Almighty.
Allah'ın iyi kulları Allah'ın indinde.
The purpose of this being together is to become good servants of Allah Almighty.
Makamları olan insanlar olmak.
Because what is important is in this life is to become people who have a station in the sight of Allah Almighty.
Mühim olan odur. Dünyada yaşamak. Yani bu bütün Kur'an-ı Kerim zaten Allah Azze ve Celle'nin mukaddes kelamıdır.
The Holy Quran is the sacred word of Allah Almighty.
Her birisi milyonlarca hikmet, milyarlarca hikmet, yani sonsuz hikmet.
And every single word of the Holy Quran, which is the sacred word of Allah Almighty, carries millions of wisdoms, billions of wisdoms.
Hikmetler doludur Kur'an-ı Azimüşşan.
The Holy Quran is full of infinite wisdom.
Bu da birisi de işte bu insanların evlilikleri, kimle evlenecek, kim nasıl olacak, kimin olacak, çocukları nasıl olacak diye o Allah'ın hikmetiyle buluşturuyor.
And it is mentioned in the Holy Quran, as we recited in this verse, the wisdom and reality behind the way Allah Almighty created humankind as men and women, and as then He describes the Almighty Allah, that He brings people together. And it is Him, Allah Almighty, through His wisdom, that He, by His decree, makes people start a marriage. He, Almighty Allah, determines who is going to be together. He, Almighty Allah, determines how and who their children are going to be. All that happens through the wisdom of Allah Almighty and by Allah Almighty's decree. And this is what is informed to us through this holy verse.
İnsanları bir yuva yapıyorlar. O yuvayı Allah rızası için yapmaları lazım.
And when we start a family, when people marry, they must know that with this family they start, that home should be dedicated for the sake of Allah Almighty.
Allah rızası olduktan sonra güzel olur.
And if that marriage, if that home is dedicated for the sake of Allah Almighty, then there will be beauty by Allah Almighty's permission.
Allah'ın izniyle bu dünyada yaşamanın maksadı odur.
To seek to make our Lord Allah Almighty to be pleased with us, that is the purpose of living in this world.
Bazı insanlar şeytan akıllarına girer. Ben bunları anneye babaya söver, sayar. Ne için ben siz olmasanız da ben şey yapmazdım, dünyaya gelmezdim, ben ne istemiyorum bu şeyi diye.
Shaitan sometimes enters people's minds and makes people say things like, I curse, I blame my mother and father for having born me. If it weren't for them, I wouldn't have come to this world. I don't want my life, they say.
O akılsızlığın ta kendisidir.
That is, to say such things is the very essence of foolishness.
Çünkü Allah Azze ve Celle'nin iradesiyle olmuştur o şey.
Because the reason why your father and mother came together, the very reason that you were born, happened by the will of Allah Almighty.
Kim doğacak, kim ölecek, kim evlenecek, hepsi Allah Azze ve Celle'nin iradesiyle olmuş.
Whoever is to be born, who is going to die, who is going to marry, everything happens by the will of Allah Almighty.
O iradeye tabi olup ona şükredip
One must submit oneself to the will of Allah Almighty, and one must be grateful for the will of Allah Almighty.
Onun yolunda emrinde gitmek hem insanları rahatlatır hem iyi insanları yetiştirmeye vesile olur.
And when you follow the way of Allah Almighty and fulfill His commands, you will find not only peace, but moreover, you will be the means in order to raise good generations after you.
Başkasını kabahatı ya başkasına yükleyip kendini mazlum göstermek iyi değil.
It is not good to blame someone else for a fault or for something or wrongdoing, and it is not good to portray oneself as a victim.
Allah seni yaratmış.
You must know that it is Allah Almighty who created you.
Allah sana güzel yol göstermiş.
And Allah Almighty, moreover, showed you what the beautiful path is.
O yolda git, devam et.
And you should follow and continue to observe that good path which Allah Almighty showed to you.
Zaten hayatın manası budur.
And to follow the path of Allah Almighty is the meaning of life.
Hayatta kısadır.
Life is short.
Onu değerlendirirsen, güzel olarak yaparsan sonunda sen kazanmış olursun.
If you appreciate what you have, if you make the most of what Allah Almighty gave to you, and if you try to seek within what you have been given, if you try to seek within what Allah Almighty has given, the pleasure and satisfaction of your Lord Allah Almighty, and live your life beautifully, then in the end you will be the winner.
İlelebet rahat olursun.
And then you will be at ease forever.
Yok, öteki türlü olursa epeyce bir zahmet çekersin. Allah muhafaza etsin.
If you do it the other way, may Allah Almighty protect, you will suffer quite a bit. May Allah Almighty protect us.
Allah evlenecekler, onlara hayırlı evlilikler versin, güzel.
May Allah Almighty give those who desire to marry a beautiful marriage, a blessed marriage.
Aileleri olsun, hayırlı nesiller yetiştirsin inşallah.
May they have a beautiful family, and may they raise righteous children, inshallah.
Amin. Allah tevfik. El Fatiha.